Welcome back, Spartans. We got some new cards to talk about, fully revealed from Japan. It's going to be from the Explosive Impact set that's being released out there in September. For us, we have to wait till Lost Thunder, which releases in November for us, so not too long of a wait, but we at least get to start seeing some of the newer cards from the Explosive Impact. It's been there was a good time frame when they just didn't show us some stuff. After Fairy Rise, the card reveals kind of died down. Now that it's getting closer to the Explosive Impact release date in September for Japan, we're starting to see some more of those cards coming in. So, which is great because there's actually some pretty interesting cards in this set, and a couple of GXs which are really really cool to talk about. So let's go ahead and get started with what I think is probably the main the main topic of discussion, the main star of the entire set, because Blacephelon we knew was going to get a GX. Okay, so before Ultra Moon and Ultra Sun, there was, we had all the Ultra Beasts being released in the expansions. We knew that they were going to get their GXs, and then after Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, I don't know why I flipped them, ignore that. We knew Stakataka and Blacephalon were in the game, so obviously that means that they were going to get GXs. So it's been kind of like a while since they've been released. Stakataka we just got in Celestial Storm, and it's a pretty good card. It looks to be like a major player, especially in World Championships, looking to combo with Naganadel. But now we finally get Blacephalon, and it's so unfortunate that Blacephalon and Stakataka don't get talked too much besides TCG, because you would talk about Ultra Beast and everyone likes Pheromosa and Guzzlord and Buzzwole, but Blacephalon, it's a clown. To be honest with you, it reminds me of oh my gosh, I can't remember the name. It's a Yu-Gi-Oh reference. It's like Saggy the Dark Clown or something like that. It reminds me of him a little bit. But it's an interesting card nonetheless. We knew it was going to be like Fire or Psychic. It's a Fire type card, which is great because there's not a whole lot of Water decks running out there. Lapras is probably the only main one. 180 HP is pretty standard. But the attacks are just, they're looking to be not the greatest attacks at first glance, but we haven't really seen all the cards that are coming out yet in the future. So let's just break it down one by one. The first attack, Bursting Burner. 1 fire energy. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now burned and confused. It's okay. It's not the greatest thing in the world. It's nice that it burns, so at least you're guaranteed the 2 damage before it goes into your opponent's turn, so that's 20. Your opponent stays confused, so if they try to attack, that's 30, assuming that they fail on the coin flip. But I just kind of wish it would do a little bit more damage, maybe like a 20, so to make it a 40. I know that doesn't really make too much sense, but I just want some more damage on there as opposed to just, hey, here's special conditions, done. Because now you can easily get out of special conditions. There's, there's Guzma, there's Escape Rope, there's Switches. People are playing Switches and Guzma quite often. Escape Rope, not so much, but still, you get the idea. There's easy ways to retreat. We're not gonna have Floatstone anymore post rotation, but there's still gonna be a skateboard, so you can still use that to retreat and then be free of your conditions. It's just okay. Special conditions are very tricky to pull off since there's so many ways that we can just get rid of them. You're gonna have to find a way to lock down your opponent basically. But like I said, it's okay. It's not the greatest. Luckily, though, we do have another attack that requires 1 more energy attachment. Mind Blown. This is an interesting one. 50 damage. You may send any number of fire energy in play attached to your Pokemon to the Lost Zone. This attack does 50 damage times the number of cards sent in this way. So, the Lost Zone, a lot of people, well, at this point I would hope, recognize that there is a Lost Zone. But essentially, the Lost Zone is like an extra discard pile that you can't recover cards from. So all of these Prism cards that we're getting, when they get, let's say the Stadium cards get blown away from Field Blower, or your Pokemon get knocked out, if it's a Prism card, it goes to the Lost Zone. It means you can just never, ever take it out of the Lost Zone. There's no, Rescue Stretcher, there's no Super Rod, none of that. It's gone, it's it, it's done. So to send your Fire Energy to the Lost Zone and to do extra damage is kind of bittersweet, because the thing is, we can, let's say you have 4 energy on board, right? So 4 fire energies, you're doing 200 damage. Great, that's awesome. But you just sent them to the Lost Zone, So you have no way of recovering those energies back into your deck to accelerate back onto your Blacephalon. Like, this is a deck that I feel like you would have to really up the number of fire energy cards, like maybe up to 15, maybe even the minimum. I don't know. I could be wrong about that, but it just seems like if you were going to send them to the Lost Zone, you need a way to be able to still accelerate fire energy onto your Pokemon. It's either going to come from the deck or the discard pile. And if you play 12, so let's say there's 4 energies that you just lost, so that's 8. You have 8 left. Now, that could be either in the deck or in the prizes. So, you see what I'm trying to say? Like, I feel like you have to play more fire energy than you're used to just to make sure that you have enough to accelerate onto your field in order to continuously use this attack. Luckily, there's a Blaziken that's coming out soon that could help with that, because Blaziken does. It's a non-GX Blaziken. What does it do? I'm trying to think real quick. It takes it from the discard pile and then onto one of your bench Pokemon. It's a fire. Yeah, it recovers a fire energy from the discard pile onto your bench Pokemon. So that's helpful, sure, but again, you just need to play more fire cards. And then the GX attack, discard one of your prize cards. If that card is an energy, attach it to one of your Pokemon. Interesting enough, because like the wording, and again, this is a translation, so translations aren't exactly 100%, but still, discard one of your prize cards. So obviously, does that mean you take it? Like, so you're down to 5 prize cards? It's basically like Cortana's GX attack, but you get the added bonus of if it's an energy card, and you get to attach it to one of your Pokemon, so it's good energy acceleration. But then again, Cortana lets you draw that prize card. This one, you have to discard it. So it's kind of like anti-Cortana in a sense. I don't know, it's weird. It's kind of a neat little trick to pull. I don't know if it's really worth it. I guess if you're down to just one prize card, he only needs 1 energy to take it, sure. But it's not, I don't know. I'm just not feeling it. I love the attack, the mind-blowing attack. I'm just worried about the energy acceleration part of it. It's got potential to be a really awesome card. It's just, I'm wondering if there's going to be some more fire support, though, to make sure that there's going to be enough for this guy to kind of last on the field. But anyway, he's a really cool card. I really dig it. I'm all for it. Let's move on to the next one. Lugia GX. Obviously, this is just a tie-in into the whole movie that was just released, as well as, actually, is Lost Thunder... I forget what theme Lost Thunder is supposed to be, because we know we had a Sinnoh-based expansion, we had a Kalos expansion, so I'm wondering if this is supposed to be, like, kind of going back to Johto, maybe? I don't know, but I'm not going to get into that. 190 HP, pretty beefy. 3 colorless energy, psychic, 30 damage. This attack does 30 more damage times the amount of energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. It's okay. It's not... Espeon GX, I think, has it better. I think Espeon GX has 60 base damage, and then you 30 for each energy. This one's 30 less. Benefit, this is colorless. You can tech it into any deck. So you can use any energy cards you like, which means you could probably accelerate the energy much faster than you would in Espeon GX. It's decent enough. It's not going to be the main one that you're going to want to focus on for Lugia. The second attack is pretty sweet. So for 4 energy, you do 170 damage, but you can't use it again during your next turn. So interesting enough, we've got like Buzzwole and Lapras. They do 160 for 3 energy. This one does an extra 10. It makes a huge difference, which is why probably that little extra energy cost is there for that reason. It's a huge difference because that's a one-hit KO on most of your Tapus. Tapu Koko and Tapu Lele. And I think even Tapu Fini. Don't quote me on that. But it's a one-hit KO on them. You add a Choice Band on there. You're one-hit KOing all like the evolutions. Lycanroc is gone. The only one you can't get is Zoroark GX, which... I'm trying to think if there's a way to beef it up. I don't think there is, but then we also have Shrine of Punishment, which is a Stadium card that puts 10 damage on all GX Pokemon. So you could combine it with that, and then there you go. Like, it's a big deal to have that little extra 10 damage boost, because it's easier to knock out a lot of Pokemon. So Lugia is a pretty awesome card. The 4 energy, yeah, it's kind of a pain, but we can still use double colorless energy. And then if you're using, like, let's say Malamar can just, accelerate the energy back onto Lugia from the discard pile onto the bench. Like, it's that easy. So I'm pretty sure Lugia is going to be teched in a lot of cards, especially if there's a lot of energy acceleration involved. Maybe the Macargo deck, who knows? Definitely worth looking into. And then we have the Lost Purge GX. Again, going back to the Lost Zone. Put your opponent's active Pokemon and all cards attached to it into their Lost Zone. This could become a deadly GX in the sense that, like, let's say your opponent is just, like, beefing up this one strong attacker on the bench. You Guzma it out, put Lugia out there, and you just Lost Purge GX and you just get rid of all of those cards. Like, can you imagine if, like, someone just put, like, a Buzzwole with Beast Energy and a Strong Energy, and obviously, so it would have 3 energies, right? And then a Choice Band, and you just put them all in the Lost Zone. Like, that's a pretty crazy idea, at least in my head. This GX will definitely see some play, in my honest opinion. I think other people think otherwise, but I'm pretty sure this is worth it. Alright, so moving on from there, we got some smaller cards here, but still pretty strong. This Naganadel is extremely interesting. Unfortunately, we don't have a bigger image, but it's so for 130 HP, which is pretty sweet. I mean, 130 is much better than 120 nowadays. You have the ability Charge Up. Once during your turn, you may attach a basic energy from your discard pile to this Pokemon. It just accelerates its own energy, which I like. That's ideal. I mean, yeah, you have better options like Malamar, which can accelerate energy onto bench, and then you have Blaziken, which again can accelerate fire energy, but this has got a pretty decent attack. So then let's talk about its attack. 3 energy, turning point, 80 damage. If you have exactly 3 prize cards remaining, this attack does 80 more damage. The first thing that came to mind, and I haven't looked it up to confirm, but I'm pretty sure, because I haven't looked at this card in a while. Naganadel GX. I'm pretty sure it has a GX attack that resets everyone's prize cards to 3. You essentially do that. Let's say your opponent can't knock out your Naganadel, which is, reasonable since you're probably going to have stack attackers with it. That's the combo nowadays. Then you can easily surprise it with this Naganadel. Put in a Choice Band. You're doing 190. You could KO a Lele, a Buzzwole. What else is there? Lapras. Like, you can KO anything. And then now you're ahead on the prize game. You just have to get one more prize. And they haven't knocked any of your Pokemon out. So I think this is obviously going to see play in Naganadel decks. It just has to. It just makes sense for it to be in a Naganadel deck. But I don't know. The ability is just so close to being like the most amazing ability. I dig it, but I understand that we would much prefer that it can attach to just any Pokemon and not just to itself. But again, pros and cons. I think there has to be a purpose for it. I think if it was anything else, it would be a broken card, I think, in my honest opinion. But still worth definitely playing if you're going to play a strictly Naganadel deck. And then, I think last but not least, I want to say we have a couple more things to look at here. But let's look at Heat Factory Prism Star. Again, another smaller image. So it looks like we're getting a stadium card for each type of energy. Because it was, what was it? We got the fairy one, I think. No, the grass. It was a grass one that heals you. We're getting this fire one. I just heard that there's a dark stadium coming out. So hopefully we'll get one for each type. That'd be pretty cool. But let's see what Heat Factory Prism the Star does. So once during your turn, you may discard a fire energy from your hand. If you do, draw 3 cards. Okay, this is essentially Scorched Earth with 1 extra draw power. Because Scorched Earth was a stadium card, you discard a fighting or fire energy, you get to draw 2 cards. This one, it's strictly fire, you get to draw 3 cards. Is 3 better than 2? Yes, theoretically it is. You do have to kind of watch out because, you could kind of deck yourself out. I've been playing a Swampert deck recently and I've been finding myself decking out almost quite a bit. But the issue behind this is that your opponent on the other side could technically easily just knock out this stadium. So as a Prism Star stadium, yeah, you don't get knocked out from what is it, from Field Blower, or like let's say Delinquent, which at this point will be like an expanded, but they can still just play another stadium. So is it worth it to just play that one Prism Star Stadium card to draw 3 cards from just one turn and just lose it all together, or not? Like it's kind of weird. So there's got to be I'm wondering if there's going to be a card release that lets us keep our stadiums. Kind of like how there was the what is it? The Ninetales. I can't remember what expansion it was from, but the Ninetales that had the ability, which prevents anyone from putting down any other stadium cards, because that was pretty neat, because you could just lock your stadium card in place. So I don't know. It's an okay stadium Prism Star stadium card, but the draw power is nice. It's just kind of situational. It's just you don't want to play it too early, but then you don't want to play it too late. Yeah, I kind of have problems with that card, but it's still neat nevertheless. And then there's just some more info, or some more like products that's being released in Japan. Some Suicune sleeves, which actually look pretty sick. That's actually pretty nice. A Lugia playmat, which is also fairly nice. So any Lugia fans out there would definitely want to pick this up if they can. I don't think that they're going to be like US available. I think you have to go to like certain Pokemon stores in Japan. But yeah, still, I mean, there's always eBay too. And I think there's like one more set of cards that I actually was going to talk about, but I think I'll just talk about that in another video, because I think this one's like long enough. So there you go, some new cards from Explosive Impact: Blacephelon, Lugia, Naganadel, and Heat Factory Prism Stadium card. Let me know down in the comment section which one you're most excited for, because I think I'm most excited for this Blacephalon. To be honest, like he's got some good stuff to him. I'm just waiting to see what other stuff he, like support wise, he's got going on. And that's gonna be it, guys. So thank you very messed up on that one. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, do what you gotta do. I'll see you all in the next video.